Ooh. Ooh. I mean, night and day freaking difference in the ability underneath the bar. That is so fun. YouTube, what is up? We are back with another day, and the itch for softball, that was actually an itch of the mustache there, but the itch for softball has officially came back. We started up with our day one of VP here. We are going to create a separate YouTube page for the softball content, and I will be building that out, and Operation 80 will start tomorrow. We did a little bit of throwing to prep for it today just to get that arm loose, and we're gonna track and cover all of that stuff on an alternate YouTube page just to keep things kind of a little bit cleaner. Now that we're cranking out 7 videos a week here, I want to be able to have just a little bit of a separate category for that. Still building out the name. I think it's going to be Just Keep Swinging, and by the time this video's out, that page will already have been created, so you can't steal it from me. We're going to have it a little play on the keep chopping wood mentality, and I think it'll allow me to get my thoughts a little bit more organized for the fitness side of things and the softball side of things. But we finished up our first BP day. Felt really, really nice. Get the bat back in the hands. Only had like 40 minutes of swings today. We still got 100 in. It was a lot of drills, a lot of working with the ground. That's our goal for this offseason. Work with the ground, be a little bit more athletic while we hit. I started a training journal and a hitting journal today just to be able to keep things a little bit more on track. My eye is itching like a mother trucker, but it'll be cool to kind of track things like that. Like there's a lot of times where like hitting cues are really helpful for me, hitting drills are really helpful for me, and then I kind of lose that drill and go back to something, and I find myself in like a skill well, and I just want something to be able to draw me back out of that. I think it's just like a regular journal where if you kind of track your daily events and how you're feeling and what you're doing that day, I think a lot of times you will find trends in your life and things you were doing in your life that led to you being happy, and trends in your life and things you were doing in your life and people you were allowing in your life that led to you being miserable. And I think when you have it on a piece of paper and you can look back on all those things, it gives you just a little bit better perspective to fix those things in the future. I think humans are really bad at making the same mistakes, and I think life and skill are very similar things, so we're gonna start that with the lifting and the swings, but pumped to be back ripping there. Today we got some jumps, some snatches, some heavy cleans, some squats, and a little bit of accessory work at the end. So a little bit of a busy day, but we're gonna get after it. Let's freaking go. So to start our vertical jump movement problems today, we got those Joel Smith horse hops that we did last week. Really have a good feel of these this week. I feel like I'm getting my glutes activated and feet are responding really well with the ground. But again, a little quarter squat. I'm going a little bit wider with the feet. When I was going narrow with the feet, I wasn't feeling the glutes as much. And when I go wider, I feel like I can get on the inside ball of that foot and kind of pop up. So this is our 5th set of 20 here, 100 total reps. Let's go. Let's go. Do some triple A jumps. Now we got these triple jumps, single leg triple jumps cycling through here. I was making fun of myself with Tristan and Joe Padula on the podcast this week about how terrible I am at these, and we have to continue to do them. So if I'm gonna roast myself publicly, we better get better at them. We did hit a PR already. Our PR before this was 20 feet 5 inches, and we've already hit 21 feet twice. So let's get after it. Maybe we push it today. Let's go. Ooh, there we go. 21.6. This is set number 5 here as well. First couple sets, I did a little lighter just to warm up the feet. This turf is giving me a little bit of shin splints. I'm feeling it just a little bit. It's much harder turf than our old turf. So took a while to warm up here, get those shins feeling right. But we're feeling good now. We're busting out PRs. Let's go. Ooh, let's go. Oh yeah, 22.2. That's almost a foot PR from last week. Let's freaking rip. We got some snatches now. Now we got 4 sets of 2 here. Snatch into a low hang snatch with 190 on the bar. Body's feeling a little beat up from those Bulgarians yesterday. Not beat up, but sore. The quads are sore. We got 4 sets of 2 here. Then we got 4 sets of 1, or maybe it's 2 heavy cleans. Then we got some squats. Then we got some accessories. Gonna have to dial in. Let's go. Ugh. Sloppy. Oh, I had to throw the hair up because I think the long hair makes the hat slip off. So hopefully hat stays on a little bit better. I got a dry contact, and there is nothing that drives me more insane than my contacts not working. Like as much meditation as I have, as much stoicism as I practice, there's nothing that makes me more irrationally mad. And I really mean irrationally mad, because like, why does it fucking matter if your eye hurts? So I might have to go grab some eye drops from the car and get ourselves right. But second set here, first set was really, really sloppy. Got to give it a little bit more intense, get that bar vertical. Let's go. Better. Losing that feel a little bit from yesterday where I was getting nice and vertical and squeezing those glutes. I'm trying to get that feel back. I'm leaning again and humping the bar through rather than getting vertical and squeezing those glutes, pinching the penny at the top, as our defensive line coach used to say. So we're gonna try and drill that in here for these next 2 sets. Let's go. There we go. All right, that last set felt a little better, but still a little bit of lean. And by a little bit, I mean a lot for most people's standards, but still want to get a little bit more vertical, pinch the pennies at the glutes. Let's go. That felt much cleaner. Let's get to some cleans. Before we hit these cleans, I kind of want to show this little drill here. It's just a heavy weighted front rack with straps. I think I saw this on Dozier's page the first time. Shocker there. But something when I messed up my thumb, I jacked up my front rack position. My left shoulder just feels like an absolute bum. It's weird that the thumb did that. I wonder if I was like compensating when I was cleaning and snatching with the busted up thumb. But it was pretty instant after that thumb got broken up that this front rack really started to go to shit. So all we're doing here is strapping up with 225 on the bar and holding an ISO in that front rack position. The straps make you stay really nice and close to the bar and really drive that front rack up. And I want to be able to open it up so I can eventually clean with straps on. Again, there's just no way right now. The straps, when the straps are on, it's a straight elbow down catch position. It feels like the shoulders are going to get blown out. And it's not that you should or shouldn't clean with straps. I know there's like a lot of opinions there, but I think you should have the option to clean with straps and not have a bum-ass front rack, and I think it exposes it. So we're going to hold this position here, open up, and let's go. It's about 30 seconds there. Take a little break. We'll hit another 30-second hold. Oh, there we go. All right. Hopefully that opened it up a little bit. Let's get to some cleans. Now we got 4 sets of 2 cleans here at 295. That freaking front squat ISO that we just did in the front rack, feeling amazing. I'm finally able to get my elbows underneath the bar and it's feeling poppy and I can actually use my legs. So let's get after this. Let's go. Ooh. Ooh. I mean, night and day freaking difference in the ability to get underneath the bar. That is so fun. 295, I mean, that's the cleanest 295 has ever looked. That thing moved like a twig. That's pretty fucking sick. I knew there was something jacked up with my clean. Like every time trying to get my elbows underneath it was just so bad. And then I was doing some shoulder stuff yesterday. I'm like, oh my God, dude, my front rack is absolutely destroyed. And even just hitting just a little front rack work. I've been doing the band super stretch and that's been feeling nice, but I saw that one. I'm like, I bet that's what I need. And honestly, I think I tried to do my front squat strapped on Monday and it was so bad that I was like, I definitely need some work here. So that's a cool little unlock there. I want to answer the question here, how to incorporate Pilates into your program. And I think the Pilates movement that everybody's kind of pushing because the elite level athletes are going to Pilates now, it's just like the old yoga movement that we had probably like 6 or 7 years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that time period, but some pro teams were starting to use yoga in their training and every single strength coach, every single football coach completely adopted yoga into their programs with no second thought of it because some elite level athletes ended up doing it. And it was super funny because some of the yoga these teams were doing was literally just stretching and doing some mobility. So athletes are going to feel better stretching and doing some mobility. And then some of these coaches that didn't know that would just implement full-on yoga classes where they're doing chaturangas for 15 minutes and just destroying these athletes' shoulders and they're just doing a bunch of bodyweight push-ups. I think so many times we get like so enamored with these new training philosophies that we just lose a lot of common sense when it comes to them. And lose the real reason that some of these things work, which is that it's just a new training stimulus that the athletes haven't done before or weren't driving intent into. And especially if you're taking load off of the athletes to go do these things. So like in strength conditioning, when we were at college, we had to cut some of our lifts for a yoga practice where we'd bring in a yogi and they'd run through this stuff. It's like, of course, the athletes feel better when they're not lifting and they're stretching and doing mobility. Like that has nothing to do with the stretching and the mobility or the yoga. They're just going to feel better when they're not stimulating the body and they're stretching and laying down on the ground. But I'm also not a like pure hater of yoga or Pilates or Pilates type movements. I just don't think we should throw out all common sense and all of our philosophies when a new tool like this comes up. I think we should look at that tool, learn that tool, experiment with that tool, keep doing what we're doing, and then grab the things from the tool that work. Doing a bunch of downward dogs And push-ups is probably not the thing that makes yoga work for the athletes. It's probably a bunch of long duration isometrics and stretches that they're doing during that time. And the breath work that they get out of it. So why don't we just take some of those long duration isometrics, some of that stretching that they do, some of that breath work that they do, and just apply it to a principle-based program rather than throwing another random tool in at the athletes and cutting out what we know works for them. And I think we do the same thing with Pilates. Look at and learn Pilates, maybe go try a Pilates class out, and then take what you think would work with your athletes and apply it to your athletes. That doesn't mean put them in a Pilates class or take a day away of training to go do Pilates. Don't really think that's the best approach when it comes to these new tools and these new things. Again, nothing against yoga or nothing against Pilates, but we know an NFL athlete is not created by doing just Pilates, and we know an NFL athlete is not created by just doing yoga. So why don't we grab the tools and the good things from those and apply it to a program that we know these elite level athletes need and the stimulus that they need? Just train variously, grab from all of these fields without making any of them magic or the holy grail, and you can squeeze a lot more juice out of your athletes and your training program, and you can have them get performance while feeling good. You can have your cake and eat it too. And I think we lose our way when some of these new tools pop up, right? So let's get the second set, let's go. A little sloppier. Third set here, let's dial in, no big long rant before we get it. Should be primed, let's go. Missed it. All right, fourth set here, let's make it look like a toothpick, let's go. Let's go, that's a good clean day. Get to some squats. All right, we're gonna finish up today with 4 sets of 3 back squats here at 365. The back is feeling a little beat up from those swings. I was just getting like a little lower back. It feels like weakness. Once I start swinging a lot, and I'm starting to feel that on these squats, so that's not feeling the best, but the legs are feeling really good. Let's rip. Let's go. All right, second set here. Bar's feeling really good. Let's keep it rolling. Maybe hit a big back squat PR on this block. That'd be dope. Let's get it. All right, before we hit this third set, I'm gonna answer the question, what program should I run postseason? Love Ole's, but I'm feeling pretty beat up right now. And postseason, I really think you need to take a 2-week to a month-long break. Make yourself hungry again. I think there's so many people that just go straight into an off season because they're all fired up like 1 week after the season. And then by month 3 of the off season, they're completely burned out to not giving intense. Go force yourself to take a break. And this is coming from a guy that fucking hates taking a break, but took a break with softball. And go get the love for the sport again. Go get the hunger to train again. And you'll know when you hit that point because it's like you're craving to go do it again. And I think that's the first part of a good off-season program. Obviously, your body's gonna feel better after 2 to 4 weeks of break and just allowing it that time to come back from the brutalness that is a season. It looks like you're a rugby player, so I can't even imagine. Like, football was bad enough. With pads, all that contact without pads, your body's probably an absolute wreck. So let that heal while the mind gets hungry again. And then after that 2 to 4 week break, let's just start slow and easy. Like 1 to 2 weeks of just like isometrics, maybe a little bit of jogging, getting sweating again. Maybe we're doing a ton of stretching and mobility, just getting back into the gym, just getting back in the routine of moving. And then after that 6 weeks, you're gonna feel good enough to get back into an off-season program. And you're gonna be so hungry to get into that off-season program and like chomping at the bits that you're just gonna set yourself up for a much better off-season where you're healthier, you're feeling better, and you're actually getting after training, and you're not gonna have that 3 month later burnout period, because by the time that hits, practice will actually start and you're not just by yourself in the weight room grinding for something that you can't see in the future because you started right away. So that'd be my biggest piece of advice for a postseason program. Give yourself a little break. Once you start, just get back into routine of moving again, the routine of sweating, the routine of showing up to the gym for 1 to 2 weeks. And when we're done with that, just hop back in a program, man. And obviously that program will ramp up intensity, weights, strength. Like, we're not just gonna go 0 to 100. But I think after a break like that, the body and mind are gonna be so ready to get after a training program that you can just start in a solid training program. And if you want one, the Insider has a pretty sick Olympic lifting program for athletes. So can't recommend that enough. Let's get this third set here, let's go. Oof. Oof. Oof, let's go. fourth and final set here. Then I think I'm gonna go golf 9 holes on the simulator. We got one in my apartment and I've been kind of enjoying it. I'm so ass at golf and it is not ready for the camera yet, but if we figure it out, I think it could be something super fun to get after. And having a simulator in my apartment, it's the perfect ADHD thing for me. I can just go down there and hit a ball. Even though it's not as satisfying as a softball just yet, I think eventually it will be once we stop sucking at it. So that's the plan for tonight. Go eat some food. I got some barbecue chicken in the crock pot with the salad that I'm pretty pumped to eat. We'll crush some of that, probably edit a little bit of videos, and then go golf some 9 holes and hit the sauna. That sounds like a pretty freaking good night. Let's go. Let's go. Woo. Bar was moving today. Appreciate you guys watching. Keep chopping wood.